Person is a get, the shliach, and he's not able to ponech vanachtam. If they're edim, is chemical some of. So if you can locate witness to certify that it's not a forgery, it should be. Whether it's the get of an isha or it's the get the writ of emancipation, shavul lemolcha mevi, because just as the get of the isha has to be written lishma, the get of the slave, because there's a gzer shav lo lo isha. So all the laws regarding of the testimony of the shliach, it's identical for the get isha and the get. Achas min ha'jrochim sheshavu gid noshim l'shrevan. This is one of the gid noshim. It's the other way. Mayin yochel. I mean, what do you mean? He said he brought it. He wasn't able to say funny nechtam. Ile mecheresh. If initially he was a cheresh, which is definitely cheresh b'asui gitu. I mean, he's not qualified. Hatanana kol shem lo v'yizaget chutz mecheresh tevakoton. Right? Rav Yos hocha b'maiskin go shenosen lo kshu pikeach. When he actually delivered the get, he functioned as a shliach because he was pikeach. When he speak loma, when he was about to say funny nechtam, he became a deaf mute. We learned in the Brayso, right? They're the same regarding whether you bring it, when you bring it to Eretzel, the Molech he takes from Eretzel, will bring it back. Either way, you have to if it has an 8 kusi, it's not valid. Normally, a document that has an 8 kusi on it, even though we hold kusim geri MS, but if it's on the document, it's possible. Okay, why are these different? Kalashtoros, olim, berkos, documents which are actually produced by the court, although the signatures are non-Jews, these are not kusim, goyim, ksherim, because we hold Eidi Chasima, you have to have bona fide witnesses, right? Meaning like this, by anything monetary, what do we say? We say dina malchus dina, right? What is it based upon? It's based upon hefker bez and hefker. Right. Meaning the court, Chazal were given by the Torah the ability they could actually disown money, condemn money, transfer money. So even though the document on the Torah level is not a valid document because it came out of the non-Jewish court and it was signed by a goy, it's monetary. Yeah. What about, is it a marriage, not a marriage? That's not monetary. So either you're a witness or you're not a witness. You're not a witness, so it has no relevance to Din Malchus Din. And that's why, in regard to any other monetary document where it's purely money, it's ksherin. According to a mayor, why? Because what makes the document to a document is the edim. So you have to have qualified witnesses. Excuse me, Rameir Barbo. Rameir not 3, it's 4. Second, so Rashi says, the lavnei krisis ninu. V'hol v'lo shaykh b'toras gidnu kedushin. Right? He says, Rashi says, why don't they qualify gitei noshim? Because the lavnei krisis ninu aval al hadinim nitztav b'nei noach. If it's monetary, which the goy has, is bound by monetary laws like the Jew, so therefore there we say it, we'll allow it to go through. I mean, Rashi is saying something interesting. What does he have to say? Because since non-Jews are also bound by monetary laws, so there's a commonality, therefore it works. Forget about it. Let's say goyim are not. They're not bound. But factually, we have hefker bez and hefker. Right. The answer is because we're not going to employ hefker bez and hefker if it has no relevance to them. Of course we have the ability, but why do we? That since we see on a monetary level, the goy is bound as we're bound, therefore we treat it as if they're qualified. It's not kosher.
No, I'm saying the question is that people sometimes have diet.
It's possible.
I mean, they consider Aiden, or they consider Aiden Chasima?
To my Eidi Chasima.
I mean, but can they really consider Aiden?
They're not Aiden.
It's true. They consider Aiden.
On what, on the get?
Yeah.
Of course they're Aiden. So over here, this Tosa says over here, says by regular documents, even though the signatures are goyim, it's kosher. Omeri even though the document's written by a Jew, but if they signed, The lavne krisis nenu. Kedamil kamon vodam binon lishmo vokelchov me adait nafsh ka'ovid. Kedamil so per base vod lavne shlichus nenu. There can be a shliach. The ein shlichus lov kochovim bedinot shom sofer lichtov leedim chasumu. Mashma de shlich seems to be they have to be a shliach. A goy cannot be a shliach, non-Jew. Vod the psul leedus. Not only they don't qualify as an aid. Vafilu remeid lo hava boy lemisl avde eved leedus mishum dechsiv sheker on the beochiv. It says it refers to by aidus. It's ochiv. You have, as long as you ochiv eved ochiv who b'mitzvahs. Eved is called ochiv. You hear this? An eved because he's obligated mitzvahs. Eved kanani. Aval oviko chom lav ochiv who pshita the posel. Kev lav aidus nenu hayuroi afilu kol shtoris ol berkos chom liso min atayro afilu osem omnem l'rayo. El takanta drabot, it's a takana. As I said, hefker bez nefker. Heichod the kimlu b'sadusai shuemes. As long as we know that they're not lying, because they're of a certain status, therefore we give it its value. But what's the process? The process is what hefker bez nefker. Kol rishtar mator kamel kamon the chas ba'almu. But it's only, let's say, a document which is a gift document. Avad the kimlu on the kushtu. Shum darei ein kan star. There's no document. Further, further in the Gemara. Person says, give this get to my wife. So this is his point of shliach. He points a person to deliver a get to his wife or get shichra to emancipate a Evet Kanani. Let's say after he gives it to him, he wants to retract.
Can he retract?
He can. Rameir says retract by both of them. Right? So the horses. Bishlam the Rabbanon, Minyana also, Minyana Lemute Hod Rameir. They said 3 situations we equate get Shtar Shichrur to a get Isha. Wait a second. Now, what's the reason? We say, when I point a shliach to deliver a get to my slave, correct? Is that a schus or is that a chov? If it's a schus, we say Zochalam Shulfam. The moment the shlich takes it, it's like the Eved received it, right? So if that's the case, he's emancipated. But if you say it's a chov, of course he could, because until the slave receives the get, he's not freed. Woman, nobody argues. A get isha, that's a chov. That's a detriment to the woman. Okay. So you can't say the shlichut takes it on behalf of the woman. She's divorced immediately. Can't, right? So according to the Rabbanon, they say 3. The 3 cases we equate. Get Isha to Shtar Shikra. According to the Chachomim, it's a chov by both. So what are we coming to exclude? The 4th case, Rameir's case. Rameir wants to differentiate between what? Wants us equate regarding whether he's emancipated, the Chachom hold, by Shtar Shikra, he's immediately emancipated. Of course, it's a schus to be a Jew.
Right.
Rameir says that because he's giving up his promiscuous behavior, that's a chov for the Eved.
But why?
No, when you give it to the shlich to deliver to the Eved. Rameir says, even though he takes it, even if he wants to take it on behalf of the Eved, it doesn't help. Because it's chov. No, let's say no. The one who wants matzah gives it to the shlich to deliver. So if it's a zchus, the moment he takes it, he should be freed. Rameir holds it's not a zchus, it's a chov. Because the Gemara said, because ba'avdo bepritzah nicholei. He wants to be involved in pritzos. So freeing him, he even becomes a Jew, that's not the most important thing to him. So therefore you could retract. According to Chacham says no, the most important thing is the schus to be a Jew. So the moment the shlich takes it, the slave is emancipated immediately.
But with the woman,
everybody is a chov. It's a negative. Nobody. So Gemara says, Elo minyana lemute mai. That he says 4. What does that come to exclude? You say a number. It's 4 and not something else. Otherwise, what do you have to say a number? Right? 3 means 3 and not 4.
Good.
We equate A to B. Which case don't we equate A to B? There's a difference between get Isha and get Shichrur. One's a schos, one's a chov. Quadrumei, they're both a chov. So therefore, what's the 5th? What are we coming to exclude? Witnesses, they don't have to write, to form the letters. So what do you do? We're talking about a stencil. You make a stencil. Karin lem nior. You take a piece of paper, you cut out the letters. Nir cholok umemalin is akroim dio, and you fill in the letters with ink. Omer shemigali medvar memurim bigedi noshim. You can only do it by Yerisha. Avol shechur avodim sharkol stories, but But if it's a writ of emancipation or other monetary doc, im yoidim likros lachtom chosmi. If they're literate, they could read and write, they qualify to be witnesses. Im lavin chosmin, right? But if they can't read or they can't write, something, we'll get somebody else. We're not going to rely on the stencil. Forget we're women, we don't want her to be locked in.
Right.
Even they can't, we'll rely on the stencil. But to free the slave or any other monetary document, either you qualify, you could write or you can't write. So Maria asks question, says they have to be able to read and write. Question is, what do they have to read? Kriya man maidekashmei. Well, what's the reading? If the witnesses, they're not literate, they can't read, but they have to know what they're signing on. So what do? You read the document on their behalf. So it's korin lefneim. You read the document, v'chosmin, and then they sign. Shein yodem lachto. What about if they not only don't they read, even if you read, they have to put the signatures. The karin lefneim. Then you put the stencil, and they stencil their signatures on the document. This is lekker. It's more later. Rebbe Lozer. Rebbe Lozer. He gave him a regular get shikra. V'su lekker. There is no voika omet tenu ish get zeli ishti. Person says, give this get to my wife. Shtar shikra zelavdi umes. And then he dies. Before it arrives, he dies. Okay? Lo yidalach hamis, it's poshet. You cannot give it after he dies. Why can't you give it? No.
He's dead.
No, because it's no longer his asset.
Right.
It's no longer his asset because the heirs inherit the slave.
At that time.
That's basically. And a woman is because again, you can't divorce a woman if you're not here. But the slave, you can't emancipate its slave if it's not your slave. Because the moment he dies, it shifts out of his estate.
Someone else's reshut.
Right. So Rashi says, take a look. Rega. Even if you say that what Shikra Avodim is a schus for the slave to be freed, he says, if he dies before, yeah? The moment he dies, the slave shifts out of his estate. The heirs now, it belongs to the heirs. You can't emancipate a slave that's not your slave. Right? Just 2 seconds. Yeah. Here we're talking about the get wasn't yet given to the, what's his name? Wasn't even given, no. He says, he gave the order. Give the get to my wife, give the shtar shechur to my slave. And he died. Right? You can't give it any longer. And then now they have it. No. So it's poshet. The Isha is poshet. You can't, she's a widow now. But maybe the slave, yes, the answer is it's not yours. That's what Rashi explains. It's not his slave any longer. The moment he dies, it belongs to the Yorshim. Okay, 1 second. Whatever he says, give $100 to someone to umes. So why? There's already this man Shchimira. If a person's on his deathbed, before he says, I want you to give something, the order itself is the equivalent of the transfer. Kiktoni milson lesi bishtoros. So one would say that's the difference. Get and shtar shikr is one thing. Why is that listed? Right? So it says kiktoni lesi bishtoros. Milson bishtoros loktoni. Over there, that we're differentiating between something which doesn't have relevance to shtar. Right? Milsti shtos loktoni. 1 second. The sholach rovin mishmei the rabavo have a yodin shesholach Rebbe Lozer legola mishum rabbeinu shchiv meira. Person's on his deathbed. Doma kisu tnu mono liploni. Write a document and say that and give $100 to so and so umes and kosvim nosni. Why? Because since he says write a shtar, shema logoba laknosa lebishtar. Maybe in this situation he only wanted when it will be his if there's a shtar. So since he died before the shtar, vein shtar lachamisa, you can't write document after he dies. Okay? 1 second. So Rashi is what's the principle? What's the rationale? With a person's deathbed, whatever he says, we see it as if it's transacted. So he says, of course, we're concerned that if a person is dying and he feels that his wish is not going to be carried out, that's going to hasten his death.
Right.
So he said, whatever you want, we consider it, we'll do. That's it. Yeah. Further. So more asks a question. Ivo Iko Lishma. Why doesn't it mention Lishma? That they both have to be written Lishma? Right? Get Shichra has to be written Lishma, and then like Shtar, what's the name? Vishlam the Rabba, Dino Molech. According to Rabba, the Rabba says what? That you have to have Lishma, that a sofer is not proficient Lishma. Hainu Molech, maybe. It says that in the Mishnah. It says whether you bring the get from Eretz Yisrael, you bring it back. So what's the primary reason why you're saying it? Because Lishmos, it's included. El Rava Kasha. But according to Rava, why doesn't it mention it? V'su, bein the Rabba, bein the Rava. Who you can mechuber. Want to say about, they're equal. If you write the get with the mechuber, then you detach it. Forget Isha, it's no good, and forget Shichur, it's no good. So again, you have another case. Kiktani psulu trabonon. We're only speaking about a psul, which is rabbinical psul. The Orais Loktoni, that you're not able to give the get immediately after it's written, that's a psul the Orais. Because it says v'kosav and nosan. The moment it's written, you have to be able to give it. If there's any interruption, no. Erkoshel v'kochovim, erkoshel v'kochovim the psul the Oraisu, uktoni, and it's mentioned. So we do mention a psul the Oraisu. It says erkos. We're saying a regular document which is signed in a Goysha court, it's valid. But for get, Isha, or Shver, it's not valid. So you see we're dealing with a Psul D'Oraisa, not a Psul D'Rabanan. Tony, Beidi Mesira, so Moran says Beidi Mesira Rebbe Lozer. Now, according to Rebbe Lozer, you don't need witnesses in the document. Dom Beidi Mesira Karasi. Tony Sefer, Reb Shimon Ome, Af Eluk Sherin. Even them, V'omer Reb Zero, Yored Reb Shimon, Lishtos Rebbe Lozer. Dom Beidi Mesira Karasi. Mechlal, evidently, if Reb Shimon says that even they're kosher for a get, and it says that's all because he's going like Rebbe Lozer and 80 Mesira Karsi, because the 80 Chasima don't make the get a get. What makes the get into a get? It's the transfer in the presence of witnesses. Tanakama, so what does the Tanakama hold? He holds 80 Chasima Karsi. So we see we're talking about Psul D'Oraisa, and yet, so what does it say Mechuber? Right? Say Mechuber in the Mishnah. Ika Beinayu, Samar says, Ika Beinayu Shemus Mufokim. We're speaking, it's Shemus Mufokim. We're speaking about that the witnesses themselves have clearly Goyish names. You know, if a guy's name is Eisman could be a Jew, could be a Goy. If a guy's name is Kirkpatrick, no question. Nobody's going to think that that's a Jew sign on that get. So then they'll know who signed, why is the get a get? The get's a get because there's Edi Masira. But if it sounds like a Jewish name, you see, you can rely on them. Rasha's what we're validating on you may rely on the ones who signed, or the most of it's a name, there's no mistake that can be made that these are Jewish. No detriment, no problem. The more Yadi. Everybody knows the goyim, so there's no way they can have these goyim sign on the get. I just want to bring out one point. We said earlier, when you have 80 chasim according to Rebbe Lozer, right? In addition to 80 Masira, you have 80 chasima. Because we're afraid the witnesses may die, they may go overseas. But how do you know the 80 Masira? Because we could say, if you have these signatures, that tells me it was given over. So the same thing. If it's clear that goyim, everybody knows clearly these are not qualified witnesses. But factually, they wouldn't have signed unless it was given over in the presence of kosher witnesses. But if they're ordinary goyim, where the name is not clear, that maybe they'll use them to be the Edi Masira. Then that's a problem. It says, what about withdrawing? It says by what? You could actually cancel out. You give it to the person, get Isha and get Shichur. According to the Mishnah says you can cancel out. According to the mayor, El Kik Tony Milsad Less be Kedushin. Something which has no relevance to Kedushin, Milsad Kedushin Lok Tony. What is that? Klomer, ki pachin leo voika b'chuber l'shmo luk tishni psul deraisa luk toni elei milsa disa b'kedushin luk tekot l'shmo b'chuber isna b'shteri kedushin. K'dichsiv, we speak things which only have relevance to get, which have no relevance to kedushin. Right? Because get a star, if you mekadosh dish with a star and you write a star kedushin, sever it from the tree and then give it to the woman. It's also not valid. So we're speaking of something which we're not equating kedushin with, something which is unique to get. Mechuber is not unique to get because mechuber has relevance to kedushin. L'shma is not unique to get because it has relevance to kedushin. We're speaking something which is specifically al b'fanei from the nech les b'kedushin takat rabona balmi begitin. Right, that's something which is unique to what to get because we're afraid the husbands can make trouble, and if he contests the get, it's a question of mamzerus. Loktoni I v'chazor gufa isa b'kedushin b'shlichus. Right, I by kedushin also retracting. It's mentioned, right? So that has relevance to kedushin. B'shlichus bal korcha. B'shlichus bal korcha de gershin isa b'kedushin leso. He says there's a difference. If you want to marry a woman, bal korcha, right? You can't marry against her will. You want to divorce a woman against her will, you could divorce a woman against her will. So therefore, even though shlichus has relevance to kedusha, but this manner of shlichus has no relevance to kedushin. Okay, he says. The context of Bishop speaking is sending the shlich to divorce her against her will. Okay, further. Next Mishnah. No, yeah, of course it could. On the Torah level. Rabbinically, Chem Rabbinu Gershom not. And the Rice it says, because of the Sefer Krisa, it says, Afilu Bal Korcha. Now, Kol Get, which we quoted this before, a Get Sheish Lov 8 Kusi Posul. A regular monetary document. It has a Kusi, it's not valid. But it says, Chutz Mikid No Shecher Avodim. But if a Get Isha, so the Chor should be a Kolshke. If it's not valid by regular money, so definitely it shouldn't be valid, right? Masa Shevi Lefnei Ragamliel Lekfar Atunoi. There was an incident, they brought a star before Ragamliel who was in the Kfar Atunoi, city in Israel. Get Isha Voyo Olav Eidim Kusim. Hear this? There were Kusim Va'achsher. So we see, this story confirms what the Mishnah says, that by get Isha, an 8 Kusi is valid, because they brought such a get to Ragamliel. The Hichsher, he validated the get, even though the Eidim were Kusim. Kusim were the Goyim who they converted. Okay? So he's of the opinion, Ki Kusma Gere Emes. Right? They're considered true converts.
That's early. We had days, but Trumat and Nasr.
No, they can't be trusted. No,
they can't be trusted if they told you Trumat and Nasr. But you can trust them if you eat in their house because they're not going to.
But that was later. So earlier they were trusted, I think, and later they were
no, originally they were Jews, then they reverted back to idolatry. They reverted back to idolatry.
So, right. So the later...
Or you can say that, Gitin has no relevance to them, so they would be honest with that. Over India, then with monetary things, they're corrupt.
Right, that's what the Gemara is going to say. Monetary things, they're corrupt, they can't be trusted. He had money masdisin. Who do we attribute the Mishnah to? That we're saying an 8 Kusi, forget Shichrur, and get Isha, he's qualified, right? I mean, forget Isha, he's qualified. Lo Tanakam, lo Reb Lezer, lo Ragwim Liel. Let's see, the Tanya. It's not going like Tanakama, not like Reb Lezer, lo Ragwim Liel. The Tanya. Matzah's Kusi. Kusi makes matzah. Does it sell for $3 a pound or $90 a pound? Muteris, you're permitted to eat it. You're permitted to eat it. Not only it's considered lishma. You can be yotzi the mitzvah achilas matzah. Matzah is made by a kusi. No, Kirkpatrick's matzah. Chaim Kirkpatrick. Rebbe Loza oser. Yeah, Rebbe Loza says why? It's not that they can't be trusted. They're not sufficiently learned in how to do it right. Reb Shimon Omer called mitzvah shechzika b'kusim. Any mitzvah that the Kusim took on, harbi medaktim bo yosem shol, they're even more meticulous than Jews. So therefore, definitely yotzei. Okay? Money. So who do we eat Tanakamo? So if it's Tanakamo, that he says what? That Odom Yotzei Shar Shtaros Nami. Why is the limit to Gitin? Any shtar should be valid. And then a kusi signs out. Why only get? Irab lo zafilu get isha nami lo. And if you say he doesn't know the laws, right? Also not. There you go. Yeah. If they're what they undertook this responsibility, so even other documents. Maybe it's going like regarding Gitin, they're proficient. They took it on. Right? Why only if you have one? If you have one kusi witness, even if you have two kusi witnesses. Reb Shimon says if you have one kusi and one Jew, then it's good. That's what the Mishnah says. So Reb Shimon Gamliel, it's something that they took it on. Even two kusim should be good. You don't even need a Jew. They both can be kusim. But evidently you have to have a Jew in addition. Only one of the two could be a kusi, not both. Ultimately, meaning first the kusi signed, then a Jew signed under the kusi. No Jew is going to sign after a kusi unless that kusi is a valid kusi, right? Because he's not going to make if the Jew signed first, who knows who signed after him? He wasn't aware. But if the Jew signed last, that tells you who that kusi is. No. Why? The laf kusi choveru, unless he's a kusi chover, meaning he's learned, lo machtem le, because he's not going to allow him to sign before him. That he signed for him is an indication of covenant. He's giving covenant. You sign first. So why do we say they're not qualified by other documents? If it's a kusi chover and the Jew signed second, so why by monetary documents wasn't valid? Elamina rav cheshavak. We say he left space. Leman de koshish mine. He left space. Somebody who's older than him to sign. Hachanami de rebel shabak leman de koshish mine. 1 second. Kochach time mai have b'shar shtoros b'cheskes chover al gdei hagdom zu daminen. So rav cheshavak leman de koshish mine. Shiroas eidus. Im Yisrael ze achos Yisrael ze kenim imeno v'akusi shechos Yisrael tchilo so v'sheachtem bal shtar imo. You hear this? Right? Hocha nami begedi nema rav cheshavak. He says, you know what's the reason? Even if the Jew signed second by a monetary document, you know what happened? He signed, left a gap. Why did he leave a gap? He said, I'm a young guy. Let somebody more prestigious sign. So the reason it's not. So even though you find the kusi signature before his signature, it's not indication that he's a special kusi. He thought the Jew would sign. A Jew would sign. Turned out he signed. Someone says, so what about Vayechi? Say the same thing. Say the same thing. Even the Jew signed second, it's not an indication. Maybe he left a space, and the kusi signed. Someone says, "Iochi, ochanami rav cheshav van koshmei omra fazos ameres ede aget ein choism zebelos." That is what we're talking. Judy here. By a get, that both Adam have to sign in presence of one another. So it's not possible he signed later and he doesn't know who signed before him. By a monetary document, you call one, you call another, they could sign on different days, it doesn't make a difference. But on a get, they have to sign the presence of one another. So if that's the case, if he left the space, he saw somebody older than him. So, because what happens if he says kulchem? I want you to sign kulchem. That kulchem indicates they have to sign at the same time. Okay? Second. Amar Rabban Shleach B'Zer Shlo B'Zer Gzer B'Shem Kulchem. The Nam Pirkel come on. Amar Lasar Kulchem Kisu Get Lishti. He says to them, I want you all to write a get. Echad Kosev Kul Chosmin. One writes, all of them have to sign. V'lo Omar V'lo Have Chasmi Kulu Have a Posel the Kapeda Tal Yemilson Lo Shav Eli Al Hochi V'lo Tikno Afil Hechad Lo Omar Kulchem Shikol Edim Dikbotzim. Yeah, that's the reason. Since by get, if he says Kulchem, they all have to sign. Even if it doesn't say kulchem, we want everybody to be present when you sign, because of the possibility you could have a problem. So therefore, if he left a space, for somebody who's, if the Kusi signed first, what does that mean? The Kusi signed first. That no, not because he was more. No, not because he was older. Because he signed first. He signed second, which is a confirmation that this Kusi is a Kusi Chover.
Good.
Okay. Zeiru shukulchem gufa. Omer Rabbi Loza lo ichshiru elo ela eid echad. Rabbi Loza says lo ichshiru elo eid echad Kusi bilvar. Only one. You have to have a Kusi and a Jew. My time, my kamashma. What's the chiddush? What's Rabbi Loza telling me? Pshat in Mishnah. It's explicit Mishnah. Tinino. Go get shall have 8 Pusi posel. Right? It says, if you have an 8 posel, imas these have a mina filu train nami. 1 second. Rega. Yeah. It says, by a regular monetary document, if you have 1 8 kusi, it's possible. So what's the mashmos? By a get isha, 1 is good enough. What do we have to, Rabbi Loza have told by get isha? That what? That when it says 8 kusi, it's 1, it's indicated from the other Mishnah. The Mishnah says, by regular monetary documents, even if you have only 1 kusi, it's possible. So what does that mean? What's the inference? By get, 1 is good. So what does Rabbi Loza have to tell me by get isha? That 1 8 kusi is good with a regular Jew. It's inferred from the other Mishnah. Right? That's the first question. My it's the Mishnah. It says, "Kol get sheish lavayit kusi posel." That means a regular month document. It says, must these have a mina afil train nami? I would think that what? I would think even 2. What would I think even 2? Rega. I would think even 2. Tomorrow says, "I v'ktor chad mishin shtoris afil nami lo." I would think that when it says 1 doesn't mean only 1, it means even 2. It says the Mishnah 1, right? The answer is no. It says 1 because to tell me, but to what? To exclude 2. Afilu chad nami lo. I would think by other by get even 1's no good. Habir if you train nami vaydik toni chad mishum dishtoris afilu chad nami lo. Kamash balon that 1 no. By shar stories 1 is even 1 is no good, but by get 1 is good. Utrei lo, v'oktoni ma'isevil if they ragmalil, kvar tononi get isha v'yolov a day kusim v'chshitz. It's mashma they both kusim. Seems to be you don't have to 1 and 1. It seems to be even 2 kusim is good enough. On Rabbi tini edo, you have to change the girsa. Not a day, but edo. His aid, his Rabbim lolam train. Ragmalil miflu pligi. Ragmalil is arguing. The Tanakam holds it's only 1 and 1 by get isha. But Rabbi Leil argues, even by get isha 2. And what's the proof of it? There was an incident, right? There was an incident. Rabbi Leil machshav b'shnayim ma'aseh nami shevi lefona lefnei Rabbi Leil lekfaru tonoi get isha. V'oyu eidov eidei kusim v'yichshir. So that incident confirmed that his position. We rule halacha 1 kusi, 1 Jew is good. The Jew has to. Signing glass reveals that he's a chover. But Rabbi Leil says, no, they both can be kusim. It doesn't make a difference. It says, a document that was produced by a non-Jewish court.
Right.
Okay? Even though the signature is a goyim, it's kosher. This has to do with Dina Malchus Dina. Dina Malchus Dina. Right? Regular court, you have a document that comes out of the court. Regular court, but if let's say the court, the get is written by the court, a divorce document, and you have a goyim signing on it, it could be the Supreme Court Justice, it's possible. Even them, when is it possible? It's only if an ordinary guy signs on it. But if a justice signs on it, even though he's a goy, it's good. Seems to be in the Mishnah, Loshna Mecha, Loshna Matona. Doesn't make a difference if it's a document which is a sale document or a gift document. Bishtul Mecha Mechiov Zuzi Kamayu Kukona. Right? A goy. If a guy wants to purchase something with money. So the kinyan, or a Jew, the kinyan takes place when you give the money. So what is the shtar? The shtar is only shtar raya. It's only a proof document. Ushtar raya balmo. The Loyov Zuzi Kamayu. Because if factually, if the person who signed on the shtar that the money was given, he's not going to put his reputation in jeopardy. V'kosvin lo shtora el matana. But my koni about if it's a matana, what was the cause of the transfer? Evidently, it's the document. So the document in its own right has to be viable. So goyim sign it. Why is that a viable document? El matana my koni late la v'ishtora. It's not the shtar v'ishtora chas balmu. It's only like a piece of pottery. If they're not qualified, see, if it's only shtar right, we say it's a good enough raya. Because he's not going to lie, make himself look bad. But what was the actual transfer? The money that was given.
Right.
But by a shtar maton is a gift, so what transfers it? The document. But the document's no better than a piece of pottery.
What we say.
Amishmul dino malchusa dino. We say hefker bezin hefker dino malchusa dino. Ibosem betini chutz migitei noshim. Meche gitei. No, except matono is like gitei noshim. Shtar meche yes. Yeah. Ibosem Reb Shimon Omer Afe Lukshem. Reb Shimon says even by Gitin, it's good erkos. I have a love increases. No, how does it go? How does it go? Sign. Reb Zera Yord Reb Shimon L'Shitos Reb Loza. We're going quote Reb Loza Eidim Mesira Karsi. So this Eidim will sign on it, not the Eidim which caused the divorce. What caused the divorce? The get being given in the presence of Jews, right? Dom Eidim Mesira Karsi. I have Reb Abba Moed Reb Loza B'Mizuf Mitochu Sheposul. He says, but if you have witnesses who sign, which could mistakenly think that the kosher is not valid, rabbinically invalidated. We're talking about the names are so obviously goyish. There's no havamina that we're going to rely on these people to give the get in their presence. What's examples of that you can't in any way confuse that these people are Jews? Hurmis. Person has name Hurmis. You know, Carter. You ever heard a Jew Carter? Carter's not a Jewish name. Okay? Obama. Because you a Jew's not Obama. Vovdino, Bashifsoy, Bakidri, Betty, Nakim, Uno. Avoshem Shem Fokin. But if it's a name which could be confused with a Jew, my love, it's not it's not valid. If they signed, it's possible. Even though they're Eidim Mesira, because these witnesses could be confused with Jews. Right. And they're Goyim. Okay, stop here. We got